Okay, we'll get everything going on the should be live on Facebook now. So if you want to jump on the stream so you can watch the comments. Let's see here.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah, I've got it.
You're beat me to it. There we go. All right, we are live. All right, we can. We'll go from there. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. We're having a special lunchtime episode there. We wanted to have Ren Quantrill of the Cannons still. I'm assuming he still occasionally plays for the Cannons.
Absolutely.
And we want to hear about his time because you're the first person in probably 20 years that's played for the national team from Scotland. So we were trying to do a deep dive on this to see if we could find out who the last person was. And I think the farthest we come back was Colin Smith, who used to play for the Glasgow Stars. I think he played for the under-23 team way back in the day. But anyways, Ren, thanks for coming on so much. How was your time for GB?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me, Jason. It's cool to be here. Yeah, like phenomenal stuff of a dream, really. A goal that I've been working towards for at least 2 years since you mentioned it to me back in 2019 and I found out about it. And yeah, just something I've been grinding at ever since. So happy to see the kind of hard work translate.
So yeah, did you ever imagine this? I said we discussed before the show, since you've been playing baseball for 6 years, did you ever imagine yourself actually making the national team and actually getting into a game?
Yeah, like it's funny because it was always a dream, but I guess nothing. I always wanted it to come true, but actually, you got to believing it to actually come true in real life is a whole nother matter. So it was only you mentioned it to me in 2019, I think, and that's when I realized that there was maybe an opportunity or I wanted to discover what the opportunities were. And then I went for the team that summer, tried to make the European Championship under-23 team that was going to Prague, and I didn't make that. And it was from then that I invested most, if not all, of my time in trying to make this team. So to do that, I guess you've got to believe. But actually, I was committed to putting the work in, but whether it was going to pay off or not was, out of my control. So I just wanted to control what I could, and thankfully it paid off.
Absolutely. And there was a lot of people that were helping you in the background there, because you said you had to put the work in there. I don't think a lot of people know how much time and effort you put into it. You were meeting up a couple of times a week, almost 4 or 5 times a week, just playing catch to work on things. Tell us a little bit how you got there, because again, we're stuck here in Scotland. We're going, all right, we get 2 days a week and a game if we're lucky. So you don't get a whole lot of skills there. So you went from 6 years ago to when I'm playing baseball to the national team.
Yeah, so I mean, I could probably go on and on about it, but no, there definitely was a lot going on behind the scenes. So from when you mentioned, I think March 2019, and then there was a trial down at Hearts later that month. Happened to just be good timing. Just talked about it then, and I had a pretty good trial. I got into the setup, I suppose, the greater squad. And then there were a few trainings over that summer. So I was playing in the league up here. I was driving down when I can. I think Adam Murphy came down with me a couple of times to check it all out and to keep me company, which is really cool. And I think then that was also the time that I think Paul, I asked him for a key to the clubhouse to kind of get some work in when training wasn't on, which I think was the first kind of step towards taking it into my own hands to recognize what I had to do to try and catch up, because I realized that the way stuff was with weather, with facilities, that I was a few steps behind everyone I was competing for a spot with. So it took to 2020, and actually the pandemic opened some doors, to be honest. Early on, before the Legends and the NBL season started and that side of things, I realized that with training canceling and everything, at that time naively thought that I was going to be able to go to the clubhouse and train there. So I kind of made, I think a week before things really shut down and I knew training was off, I turned that into kind of an inside baseball gym, had the mound in there, there was old bench press. I had that there, and hitting nets and everything set up to kind of I was like, great, this is so cool. For as long as we're shut down, I'm going to have this and use it as an opportunity to get working when others probably aren't, and to kind of catch up, I suppose. And anyway, I couldn't do that. Long story short, I had about a week of doing that, and then I brought some of that stuff home. So I had, I nicked half the stuff in the clubhouse, brought it home because I figured no one's going to be using it anyway, so no one would know. Was doing work at home just outside, and then I think it was July. Jonathan Rodriguez, the bench coach for the 23s and the under 18 manager, got in touch to say that he was setting up a team. There was an opening in the NBL down in London. So I started working towards that with Connor Smith. We drove down together. So he's up in Aberdeen. He came, stayed here the day before the day we drive down. I would then drive us down to London and then we'd play a double header on the Sunday. Sometimes we'd training on the Saturday too. Then we'd drive back on the Monday and do that for 8 weeks. So that was the biggest touch up, I guess, in like working out what the differences are, tweaking things, getting to where we needed to be. And then this last winter, again in lockdown, was a lot more of the kind of indoor work when gyms were shut. Couldn't meet anyone to throw with. I was throwing and taping a sock to my wrist and throwing indoors and lifting indoors and swinging just bats, dry hacks and skipping and all sorts of stuff. I got pretty creative with it.
I imagine the coaches were really good about giving you stuff you can do on your own, because again, everyone's in the same situation. There's limited resources here. There's no batting cages to rock up and see 9 mile per hour fastballs to work off of there. I imagine they had quite of a list of things, of a checklist to go, all right, if you guys work through these, let's see what happens.
No, absolutely. So there was when gyms were still open, Will Linton had an off-season workout program sorted for us, which was great. I was working through that, and then gyms shut down, and I can't remember what he called it, but Jonathan Rodriguez, Derr, our Legends coach, and with GB as well, set up a group that every day we had something to work on. So whether it was throwing, and we'd all record us throwing indoors, or just to keep each other accountable for doing it. Skipping. There were all sorts of things every day, and it would motivate you to seeing that your teammates are putting in the work in pretty unfavorable circumstances, really going for it. And it's kind of, you force yourself to keep up even when we had about 6 hours of daylight and couldn't see anyone. And it was, times are pretty dark, but it kind of pushed you through.
Did you find that playing baseball in Scotland, you were forced to work out harder and more often? Because again, the skill level was, once you head further south, ultimately down to the National Baseball League, the competition's much higher than it is up here.
Yeah, I think definitely it got you, kind of forced you. I think Marina was saying last night, you see that people, it's not easy to play baseball here. So you're surrounded by people that you can't not love to play the game, or you would just stop because it's too much hard work to get, to really try and play. So I think that kind of built up from when I was 16 and first came down to play. I had developed that kind of mentality that it was already in me to play. If you want to play, you've got to really throw yourself at it and give it 100%. And I like to say that kind of paved the way to what happened last week.
Absolutely. And I obviously imagine that playing for the Legends got some eyes on you, as you can see your development go with J-Rod, obviously, and Drew Spencer. And they can feed back on that and go, you know what, he's really coming on now. And I imagine that really helped, let them know that you've developed as a player.
Well, that was the other half of it. So half of the I wanted to go down because to meet the people that I'd hopefully be playing with, Yeah, it's the highest level of baseball in the UK, so that's no bad thing. Trying to be a better baseball player, but also the accessibility to coaches playing under their eyes every day, or every day I would play. They'd be seeing me. It makes it so much easier, I suppose, to get noticed, because you're right, right there in front of them. So it was a combination of those three things that really motivated me to get in the car every week.
How did they break the news that you'd made the team?
I just come back from a training at Farnham Park. Got back to where my dad was staying, and I found I'd had a message when I was on the tube from Drew Spencer, and I just got in the door and opened it up, and to a really nice message from him congratulating me, and I was pretty emotional when I got that.
And you guys get all right, because I know he's an A's fan, and you being a Giants fan, you know.
Yeah, we can put it aside. We can put it aside.
No, Drew's a great guy there. So, all right. So tell us about the trip. Like I said, obviously it was a lot to plan for. You guys played. It was 5 games you guys played.
Yeah, we played 5 games from the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the bronze medal match on Saturday we were in. Yeah.
So walk us through a typical game day for you. I know we touched on it before the show there, but I don't think people realize when you play at the elite level of baseball, how much preparation goes into a game.
Yeah, so games are different times, so it was kind of harder to, not every day was quite the same, but I guess the day that I got into, so the Italy game, the third of the final group game we had, we woke up, had breakfast, and then at about, I can't remember exactly, but it was trying to fill time in naps, kind of rest up and keep your energy levels for the evening, even though you don't feel tired, but you know you're going to need to kind of keep it going. And the mental kind of being drained, you don't want to drain yourself mentally as well as physically with baseball. So that was something, especially at this level for the first time, I wanted to try and to maintain and not kind of, there was so much going on that I didn't want to overwhelm myself with it, which I think I did the first day for sure. The game against France, it was a blur. I was all over the place, chaos. But yeah, the game against Italy. So we had hitters meetings, pitchers meetings, trying to work out our approach for the day, and working out what we were going to face. Try and prepare ourselves as much as possible. The coaches have done an amazing job trying to. But I mean, for me, maybe college guys, this is what they know happens on the daily with college, but we don't get that up here, scouting reports and whatnot. So we were trying to prepare ourselves in the best way possible, which in itself was an amazing experience to be exposed to that, going through our approach. And then we got I want to say maybe for an 8:30 game, just 5:30, I think we got the bus to the field, and then we'd get there, warm up, take batting practice, throw, and then in batting practice, you're fielding, base running, and your approach to BP as well, working on those sort of things. Then final kind of touch-ups before the game, infield, outfield, then jerseys on and lining up for the anthem. So it was by the time I think we got back in a dinner in a restaurant at midnight, maybe, by the time we'd kind of got back and dropped our bags off. So it ends up being a full day affair for what could be a 3-hour game. You invest the whole day in it.
Absolutely. It's not like driving an hour to Glasgow and then playing catch for 10 minutes and then all of a sudden playing the game.
For sure. It's a different type of adjustment, for sure.
Absolutely. So I think, you said we'll touch on your day you actually played against Italy there. What was it like to put the uniform on and step onto the field for that first time and hear the national anthem for you?
Yeah, so I mean, that happened, the first experience of that was against France on the Tuesday morning. So we were all lining up and singing out, and we definitely, the anthem we got louder with it as the week went on, made a point of that. But crazy. I mean, the France game was a blur for me, like completely chaotic. Just trying to BP. I knew I wasn't even playing. I wasn't close to the field, but just the whole experience was kind of weightless, and I can't remember any of it. So I think we won 3-0. So there's that. That's what I remember from it. But apart from that, as the week went on, was able to kind of ingest it more and live in the moment and appreciate what I was doing. But the Italy game, I came in, I want to say what was it? The third inning, I think I came into the game in right field. So there, and that was under the lights as well. So there was a couple of first experiences. And I just remember there was a good crowd there as well, behind home plate. So it was just ridiculous. I remember just looking down, and we're in our home whites. So the jerseys were just popping, the white under the floodlights. And that's all I can really remember now. I vividly remember the white of the jerseys just popping under the floodlights.
That's interesting. I would have not even thought about that because I'm used to playing under lights there. But of course, there's nowhere to play under lights here. I played all my games under lights in high school. So yeah, it's a completely different ball game as well. It's hard to actually pick the ball up if you haven't done it before.
Yeah, no, for sure. And what happens when the ball goes, up above the lights or through the lights when you're trying to track it? It's completely different. And a ball never came my way, so I'll let you know if I ever experience it again, what it's like to actually catch a ball. But just a kind of crazy environment. I guess I've spoken about it with my mom coming back, because she's the kind of person that would be hiding behind the sofa. Even if I was in the game, I don't think she even could barely watch. But for me, I prefer being there and doing it. Like, I'd rather be on the field than watching it. So it was weird. Everything else kind of fell like, otherwise it was just a baseball game. I was trying to make it just a baseball game and not be overwhelmed in the environment. So I felt pretty, I'd say pretty calm, as calm as I could be.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you step onto that field and you throw the ball around a few times there, and then the first pitch is thrown, it's just a baseball game.
Right. Yeah. And you got to remind, and that's what the guys who have played at that level or play college baseball had said to me before I went into the game. Don't change anything. It's exactly what you know. You're here for a reason. You've already proved that part. So to go and just have fun. But I think that saying all that, the part I was most nervous coming in, just kind of throwing the ball in the outfield, I was just stressed to overthrow my center fielder. So thankfully I didn't overthrow Kennard, but that was the most nervous part.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Even if you make that first steer, then you at least got it out of the way. You don't have to worry about it there.
Yeah. Well, that's still ahead of me. So, fingers crossed it isn't.
Yeah, fingers crossed it doesn't happen. But yes, it's one of those things where you have to go. It's just the ball game, and went there. I mean, what was it like standing into the batter's box? All of a sudden you had this guy. I'm assuming he's probably throwing mid-80s.
Yeah, I think I heard we had guys doing. Getting on the radar gun behind home plate. I think he hit 88. So yeah, it sped up on me quite quick. There's no way. I kind of went in and it was my one at bat of the week, and I was pretty certain. Well, I didn't want to take it for granted and think there was going to be another one. So I wanted to make the most of it. But my first pitch was. I given what we knew of their guys, and I knew that they would think nothing of me. So I didn't think they were going to kind of beat around the bush and they were going to come after me. We lost to mercy rule that game anyway, so we were down 10 there. It was 2 outs, bottom 5. So I was the last batter of the game if I got out, which I did. But yeah, I knew first pitch fastball. I was pretty confident that was going to come my way. So and I just promised myself I'd swing. and it was pretty ugly. I'm glad that the camera was quite pixelated because hopefully no one can pick it up. But that was ugly. And then I remember kind of laughing to myself then, and at that point I was like, I'm going to give it my best shot, and what comes my way. But I fouled off the next pitch. Figured something else was going to come because I touched a fastball then. There was I think slider curve in the dirt. So that was the fourth pitch, 2-2, and then I grounded to the second baseman. So I felt I wanted to see as many pitches as I could, but getting to 0-2 quite quickly was, I didn't want to go down on 3 pitches. That wasn't going to be so fun. Not a good story.
I said, he obviously went after you. He threw 2 in the dirt, so he obviously respected you a little bit there.
Well, yeah, maybe. I'd like to think so, but I just wanted to make him work and see as much as I could of it, make it last as long as possible, and then just try and make an AB of it, which I'd like to think I did.
Yeah, I absolutely did. Like I said, you got to step on the field, you got to play some right field, you got to bat out of it, and you made him work for it. And I think you did your job.
Yeah, that was my aim, and I knew going into it what the having never seen anything nearly as quick as that before. I knew it was going to be tough as it was, so just take the most of it and go from there.
Yeah, it's different when you can hear the ball and not see the ball.
It caught up on me quick. But it was a great experience. I remember laughing about it, and I think the Italians had some fun as well. Turns out they were, all kind of sorting and stuff in the dugout. So they had a bit of fun about it. I had a bit of fun with it, and it was a good experience. I'll never forget it.
Absolutely, and it's the highest GBs placed in the last decade, 2 decades, if not now.
At the 23s level, the highest ever.
Highest ever, okay.
At the 23s level, yeah. So we came fourth. They came, I want to say, 5th in 2019.
Right.
So we're climbing the ladder. So a medal next time round is the goal. It was the goal this time, but next time we're going to try to secure it.
Absolutely. I think Drew's done a good job of setting those goals for the team, and you guys have actually been achieving it. I think it's been a really nice thing to see in my 2 decades of here of how ball is going there, and having someone like yourself to root for and see that you guys are doing so well is fantastic.
Yeah, like we all there was a lot of I mean, obviously this is my first go at it, but I watched the games in 2019, and they beat the Dutch then, and I think there's been a growing, not that the desire wasn't there before then, but we were all aware of what we wanted to make people not underestimate the GB program, and I think the consensus is that's we made people now take us seriously. There was a lot, we were aware of, especially early on when teams had their full pitching staff available, and they didn't throw their ace at us. We were like, mistake, because you're underestimating what we have, and we were able to take advantage of that, going 2-0 through the first 2 games. So fingers crossed that now going forward people take us seriously, and we can keep rising.
Absolutely there. So are we going to see you go to uni, get your master's in the States so you can get your eligibility over there and get some balls there?
I have no idea. I want to keep I've got 1 more year of uni here, and I'm gonna I guess I have to figure out what I want to do after that, but no, I want to keep taking it as far as take steps that are achievable, and keep pushing myself and seeing where I end up. I don't want to slow down. I'm still young enough to make a push for it, so make a push for whatever's in the future.
And so I saw a few of the pictures from the nights out there. Who won the ugly shirt contest? Because there were some ugly ones there. I don't know we ever came to that. We had a couple of photos and had dinner, but I don't think it ever came to a contest. There were some pretty awful ones. I'm struggling to write through them now. I haven't seen the photo in a while. But it was funny because I guess it's also kind of awkward because someone's ugly shirt is someone's good shirt. So no one wanted to come up with any
too many opinions on them, I guess.
Fantastic. So what's in the future for you, Ren? Are you back in Edinburgh to help the Cannons win the Caledonian Cup, or what? Are you going back down south to keep on playing down there?
Yeah, so I'm missing the NBL playoffs that the team I'm with, the London Legends, they clinched the fourth spot, so they're in the playoffs this weekend. So big hats off to Matt Moran and leading us through there. So yeah, we're playing the London Mets this Saturday. So they're first place, we're fourth place, but we've beaten them once this year. So who's to say we can't do it again? So fingers crossed we can, the boys can come through. But I'm isolating for that, so I can't get down there. But I'll be back ready to go for the first round of the Scottish playoffs, the 12th.
Oh,
so,
yes.
That's the short term, and then the long term. Yeah, I've got one more year of uni. I'm not sure what that means with dissertations and things next spring, where I can play, and then when I graduate, we'll have to see. But I want to see. I think there's a chance I can maybe squeeze onto I'll just be young enough to squeeze onto the 23s roster if I'm selected for it in 2 years' time. So if that is the case, the goal resets, and I'll go again for that as I did 2 years ago, and try and make that again, and hopefully get a start and have a bit more time on the field if I keep improving. And fingers crossed we place on the podium. So that's the kind of short long-term goal, I guess.
Brilliant. Ren, thanks so much. Thanks for coming on, Ren. It's been brilliant to hear about your experience with playing for GP, and congratulations. You're the first player in 2 decades to make the team. We're all rooting for you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. It's been so much fun, and yeah, I can't wait to try and do it again sometime.
Brilliant. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you down at the Caledonian Cup in 2 weeks' time. And take care, everyone. We'll be on the normal time next Tuesday at 9 o'clock as per usual. And I believe we have someone from the Galaxy on, but we don't know who yet. So, all right, guys, take care. Thanks for tuning in for the special lunchtime episode with Ren.